for Pound, the MMA podcast. And now, coming to the mic, your host, Jalen Walker.
Welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. I'm your host, as always, Jalen Walker. We have a very special episode today, guys. It is the 50th episode of Pound for Pound MMA podcast. I just want to thank everyone that's been a part of it, everyone that's been a listener over this past year and a couple months. We've gone from very little to what we have now, which I'm very happy with. Man, it's been a long journey, but the 50th episode, it went so fast. But yeah, we're here, guys. We are definitely here. As I said, I'm your host, Jalen Walker, and this is Pound for Pound MMA podcast. If you're listening to the podcast via Spotify, Apple Music, or any other streaming platforms, please make sure to check us out on YouTube and click that Pound for Pound UFC Vegas 36, Brunson versus Darren Till. Will the gatekeeper of the UFC, Brunson, be able to take down the Gorilla Till? This will be a brawl and a slugfest in the stacked Middleweight Division tonight. Also, with the most anticipated UFC in a long time, Paddy Pimblett will step into the octagon for the first time, signed under the UFC. He would take on Luigi Vendramini in the lightweight division. Will Paddy live up to the hype or crack under pressure? Also, we'll discuss the results of the return of Dana White's Contender series, which was Tuesday. Very exciting stuff. 5 contracts given out, much deserving contracts, and the first ever loser received a contract also. We'll get to that. But we'll break it all down and much, much more. But first, a word from our sponsors at Manscaped. Attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and free shipping with code POUND4POUND. Ready for an out-of-the-world experience, fellas? Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off in not only the US, but Canada, UK, across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Inside these packages, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. First schedule for liftoff, new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. This spaceship is here to guide you on a journey to trim your body, balls, butt, and even Uranus. This 4th generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on and off switch can engage a travel lock, and it is even waterproof. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code POUND4POUND at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free international shipping with code POUND4POUND at manscaped.com. You can also go to manscaped.com/pound4pound and the coupon will automatically be added to your cart for checkout. Thank you so much, Manscaped. Check them out, guys. It's a really good groomer. Face, body, anything you need. It's wonderful. Alright, guys, before we get into this big fight card tonight, I just want to break down UFC Vegas 35, which happened last week. As we all know, in the main event, Edson Barboza lost in the 3rd round to knock out Giga. Giga is a beast. The Giga kick is dominant. He's dominant. He proved himself defeating one of the best featherweights in the UFC, Edson Barboza, who's known for his kicking power also. It was a great fight. Very happy for Giga, and congratulations to him. In the co-main event, we had Brian Battle. That was for the The Ultimate Fighter middleweight title, or we'll say trophy. We had Brian Battle defeat Gilbert Urbina and became the middleweight Ultimate Fighter in a second round submission. And then the fight before that, we had the Bantamweight Championship, which was Ricky Tercios, my apologies, against Bradley Heistend. Ricky took that fight in the third round with decision. He is now 12-2, and he is your UFC Bantamweight Ultimate Fighter. Congratulations to Brian Battle and Ricky Tercios, my apologies. Also, we had the welterweight fight, Kevin Lee versus Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez won that fight via decision. It moved him to 16-2 in his professional MMA career. And then the fight before that, we had the middleweight division, Andre Petroski versus Michelle Gilmore. Andre won that fight in the third round via TKO. And then the fight that started the main card was Gerald Meerschaert, who defeated Makhmud Muradov, and that pushed Gerald Meerschaert to 33-14, and that was a second round submission. So congrats to all those fighters that night. Congrats to the Ultimate Fighter winners, Brian Battle and Ricky Tercios. Ricky Tercios had some very I wish I can play it on here, but it's copyrighted. He did karaoke at the post-press conference, and it was hilarious. He did the entire song, cringeworthy and all. But man, that guy is hilarious. What a fella. That's we'll leave it at that. What a guy. But yeah, great fights. Dana White's Contender Series Season 5 Week 1 kicked off this past Tuesday. First fight on the night was AJ Fletcher, who defeated Leonardo Domini by KO, which is a flying knee, and holy shit did he land it. He knocked him out, earning him a contract. So congratulations to AJ Fletcher. And then the fight everyone's been talking about, Victor, I'm gonna botch his name, Altamirano, defeated Carlos Candelario by split decision. But in a Dana White's Contender Series first, Dana White gave both men contracts. Good on Dana. This fight was epic. It was a close fight. It was 29-28, 28-29, and 29-28. So it should have been a draw. They had a winner, and Dana White wants both of them in the UFC, and he gets what he wants, and I'm very happy for both of those fighters. For the co-main event of the night, we had Joe Anderson Brito, who defeated Diego Lopez by technical decision at 32 seconds in the third round due to an eye poke. Unfortunately, that's how it ended. Joe Anderson Brito did receive a UFC contract, which is deserving because it was a good fight. Unfortunately, the eye poke happened, and it did stop the fight. And then for the main event was Azmat Mirzakhanov, who defeated Matthias Scheffel, my apologies, by TKO at 3 minutes in the first round. Azamat received the contract, making it 5 contracts for the night. What a way to start off the season of Contender Series. Every fighter deserved everything they got. Wonderful fights, wonderful event, and I'm looking forward to getting some of those guys on the podcast like we were doing last year. So we're going to be rolling that in. Look forward to next week. We're probably going to have a one or two in the coming weeks. Even if it's not on a Saturday, we'll still probably bring them in and talk to them. I love talking to those early on guys about their experience in the Contender Series and how they're feeling moving into the UFC, and even possibly some of the guys that didn't get the contract, what they can do to get to that next level, which is the ultimate goal of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. But man, it's good to have Contender Series back. Ultimate Fighter was great season. Ultimate Fighter really doesn't end to me until Brian Ortega fights Alexander Volkanovski for the title, but that will come in due time. But yeah, hats off. Looking forward to the rest of the weeks. I think there'll be 8 weeks of Contender Series, so about 2 months. So yeah, looking forward to that. I want to get on something real quick. Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor have been going at it on Twitter. We're not going to break it all down. I'm not going to read any tweets. But man, Nate Diaz, he's calling everyone out, calling everyone a bitch, a pussy, all this, blah, blah, blah. It's insane. Nate Diaz is the hardest fighter in the game. He is ready to fight no matter what. When he talks crap and when he talks trash, he means it. He's one of the guys that he said, meet me in the parking lot. He's in the parking lot waiting for you. You know what I mean? He's that type of guy. But Conor's scared of him, as always, in my opinion. I think he is. But Nate Diaz, man, he just grows and grows and grows in popularity over the years, and nothing's gonna slow him down. I don't think nothing, absolute nothing will slow this man down. Some up and coming fights we have coming in UFC. Oh wait, before I want to get that, Conor McGregor. Much as I dislike Conor McGregor, personally, personality wise, and even saying he hasn't lost, he has never, not, you know what I mean, like. Conor McGregor, 54 days after breaking his leg, was in the gym deadlifting squats. That is insane. Like, all credit to his heart, his motivation, his work ethic. Like, Conor McGregor is the guy when it comes to getting in shape, mentally preparing himself. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to do it. But hats off to him. 54 days after severely breaking his leg, he's in the gym doing squats. That is a determined man, and I will give him that. And I will give that to Conor. But all right, on to some up-and-coming fights. Not UFC related, but it still is. Oscar De La Hoya is out of the fight against Vitor Belfort. And guess who's stepping in? Just guess. Evander Holyfield. Man, huge age difference. Should be an interesting fight. We'll see what goes down, but we know we wanted to see Evander Holyfield fight Mike Tyson, which might come in due time, but we'll see. Another fight I'm looking forward to, Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo, is set for UFC 268. It's going to be an amazing fight. Also, we got Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady on tap for November 20th, which will be a fight night most likely. It's going to be very interesting. And then, the one that everyone talks about, Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean O'Malley, is targeted to return for UFC 269. 269 comes right after 268, which might be the biggest UFC card of the year. On this card, at the starting the main event off, we have Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera. Amazing fight. Cannot wait for that fight. After that, we have Sean Strickland versus Luke Rockhold. It is happening. Sean Strickland will fight Luke Rockhold, as we mentioned a few weeks ago on Twitter. And then, here we go. For the lightweight UFC championship of the world, we have Justin Gaethje. Or sorry, not for the championship. For the number one contender spot, most likely. Whoever is going to probably fight Dustin Poirier for the title. My apologies. Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. Now, this might be the fight of the year. Going to be so entertaining, so exhilarating. I'm looking forward to this fight, and I cannot wait. And then at women's strawweight division, we have Rose Namajunas versus Weili Zhang. This is a rematch from earlier this year when Rose Namajunas knocked out Weili Zhang, giving her first loss, and I believe like 18 years, something crazy. Or in 18 fights. So I'm happy Weili's gonna get her revenge and fight Rose and try to get the title back. I'm very excited for this fight. But the main event of the night for UFC 268 is Kamaru Usman will defend his title again against Colby Covington. As we know, last time they fought, Kamaru Usman broke Colby Covington. Highly anticipated to get this fight back in. I'm personally not super excited about it. I'm not a Covington fan at all. He's a loser. The way he gets fights is just, I don't want to get into it. Everyone knows I don't like Covington, and I would tell it straight to his face. I don't care. He could do what he want. I just don't like Covington, his style or nothing. So I hope Kamaru Usman breaks both sides of his jaw this time and a couple ribs. I don't wish anything bad on someone, but I hope Colby Covington gets his ass kicked. I will say that. This fight card will be happening Saturday, November 6th. Stat card. That's at Madison Square Garden. It will be sold out. It will be exhilarating. It will be exciting. There will be blood. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to UFC 268. But enough the future, enough the past. Right now, tonight. Oh, sorry, actually not tonight. Starting at 2 p.m. the prelim cards, and then the main event starts at 4 p.m. So for the main event card starting at 4 p.m., it is the night of the European fighters. They are moving the card up so Europe doesn't have to watch the fights at 3 in the morning, and they're actually going to get to watch them at 6 p.m. now. So we'll take it. I hate watching UFC fights when the sun's out in the main event, stuff like that. But we'll let it happen. But we have to let it happen, you know what I mean? But I'm excited. Opening up the card, possibly one of the most anticipated UFC debuts in a very, 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 very long time. We have Paddy Pimblett, aka the Baddie, 16-3, who will be stepping into the octagon for the first time under a UFC contract tonight. Pimblett is currently on a 2-fight winning streak heading into this one. His most recent performance was a first-round submission against David Martinez back in March of this year. His resume has 5 wins by knockout, 7 by submission, and 4 by decision. Paddy Pimblett finally makes his UFC debut after rejecting a couple offers. The Cage Warrior star has only lost twice in the last 14 fights. The first of those came against Nad Narimani in 2017, losing a unanimous decision. He responded with an incredible flying triangle on Alex Savadis in 2008, but then lost another unanimous decision, this time to Soren Bach in 2018. However, he is back on a winning march with a TKO over Decky Dalton in 2020 and his 7th submission win over David Martinez 5 months ago. He's going to be taking on Luigi Vendramini on him as he accepted a fight on a 2 weeks notice and moved up to welterweight. My apologies. Second, just lost my screen for a second. We're getting it back. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, huge pair on this dude. He should get some Manscaped. Lawnmower 4.0. But he's obviously desperate for his UFC debut. He's moved up to welterweight to fight Elzul Zaleski dos Santos, and he ended up eating a flying knee on his way, suffering his first knockout and loss. However, he bounced back in true fashion, a blistering knockout over Jason Ayari. He then met Fares Ziam in June, but lost a majority decision to suffer his second loss. This battle should be a close one, and I think fans are expecting to see a big outcome. Both fighters have respectable resumes and could tip the battle in their favor. Luigi has a few battles under his belt in UFC that provide some insight. However, he is 1-2 in those battles so far and has been somewhat inconsistent. I'm following the hype train here. I gotta stick with my boy, Paddy. I think Pimblett takes this via decision or submission. He's an excellent fighter. I hope the hype is real. I've seen his fights. He can fight. I hope he can bring that to the octagon, and I hope he gets it done. I really do. I love seeing new fighters in UFC. I love seeing people get excited about new fighters, and this is one they really get excited about. So, yep, I got Paddy, aka the Baddie, winning via TKO or submission. I want to see that flying triangle. It's reminiscent of Jimmy the Brick Flick before his last fight before he retired. But on the next fight, we got Modestas Bukauskas, I believe that's how you pronounce it, versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. at the light heavyweight division. We're going to call him MB for now, aka the Galactic Gladiator. MB is currently on a 2-fight winning streak heading into this matchup. His resume shows that he has 8 wins by knockout, 2 by submission, and 1 by decision so far. He has been great on his feet and can deliver early finishes with his hands. He's in a little bit of murky waters with the UFC after losing 2 straight. If he loses this one, it's not looking great for him. He came in hot into the UFC riding a 7-fight win streak, with his last 6 ending in knockout. He got paired with fellow debut partner, whatever you say, Andreas Michelides, and carried on a streak with a ruthless first-round TKO. However, he met a lightweight heavyweight prospect in the form of Jimmy Crute, who violently buried him in the first round. He then met Michael and fell on the wrong side of a split decision, so another loss will be worrying him, and I don't think he needs another loss. 3 losses in a row in the UFC is just not good. Not good at all. Also, my apologies. This week, there's a lot of tough names, as you can tell. I tried very hard to figure them out, but there's not a lot of pronunciations of them online. So if I am pronouncing these wrong, I apologize, and I would love to learn them correctly, as I probably will tonight after watching the event. But MB will be taking on Khalil Roundtree, aka the War Horse, who's 9-5 with a 1-0 contest. Roundtree is currently on a 2-fight skid heading into this one, just like MB, only winning 1 fight of his last 4 battles. His most recent performance was a unanimous decision against Marcin Berchino back in January of this year. His fighting resume shows that he has 5 wins by knockout and 3 by decision. Roundtree has been flirting with retirement. After Johnny Walker's elbow sent him into another dimension, he came back rejuvenated from Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand and put on a masterful Muay Thai clinch clinic against Eric Anders. It was a new version of Roundtree. I was happy to see that, but that was back in 2019. So let's see what he can do tonight. Will that Muay Thai be able to stack up against MB, and will he be able to win the fight? Personally, I believe he will. I got Roundtree wins this fight via TKO. But do not blink. These are knockout artists. It can happen in seconds. It can be the fastest UFC knockout. We don't know what's going to happen. Just keep your eye out. It's going to be an incredible fight. But as I said, I got Roundtree wins this fight via TKO. On to the next fight. We got Alex Morono versus David Zawada at the welterweight division. Alex Morono, aka the Great White, 10-2. Morono is coming off his first round TKO victory against Donald Cerrone back in May of this year. This win got him back on track after a recent loss, but now he has an opportunity to win another one. His fighting resume shows that he has 6 wins by knockout, 6 by submission, and 6 by decision, and 1 by other. He has shown that he has the excellence in the cage. He's very well rounded. He's no stranger to short fight notice as he's coming into this one. He's coming off the biggest win of his career. Is he back in his prime? We'll see tonight. You know what I mean? I feel like when a fighter goes on a skid, if they come back and win 1 fight, you know what I mean? You got to win 2 to 3 fights for me to see a change in your mental state and see if you are back in your prime and what you're doing. You know what I mean? Anybody can land a knuckle punch. Just like Tyron Woodley said against Jake Paul. He said, I have respect for anyone that signs that dotted line. Anyone can land a lucky punch at any point. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. He's taking on David Zawada, aka Sagat. Zawada's coming off a split decision loss against Ramazan Emi back in January of this year. This loss was the 3rd out of 4 battles, with the previous battle being his only victory in that stretch. 11 wins by knockout, 4 by submission, and 2 by decision. He is shown to be fairly consistent when it comes to knockout fights in the striking department. Zawada was preparing for surgery, Sergey Kondasko, but the Russian dropped out, so he may have to rethink his strategy. He's 1-3 in the UFC, 17-6 in his MMA career. This battle could be very close, but only one fighter seemed to have clear advantage. And honestly, that's Morono. And I think Morono's going to get this fight with a TKO victory. I don't think he's going to go to decision, no submission. I think he will get the TKO victory, and it will be an amazing fight. So look out for that one. That is the 3rd fight of the main card. Coming in at the co-main event, Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Spivak at the heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall is 10-2. Aspinall enters this matchup with a 6-fight winning streak spanning back to 2016. His most recent victory was a 2nd-round submission against Andrei Arlovsky back in February of this year. His fighting resume shows that he 8 wins by knockout, 2 by submission, and so far he has finished fights early without taking a trip to the score table. He is yet to fight a full 5-minute fight or combined. Sorry, he's yet to fight a full 5-minute combined round fights. Aspinall has been calling out Spivak for a while and has unexpectedly falling in the place. He seems to have it all as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and powerhouse with the speed of a light heavyweight. He's been planning to fight this guy for a while, and he is hungry. He is hungry. Sergey Spivak, aka the Polar Bear, he's 13-2. Spivak enters this matchup on last-minute notice, and it will be interesting to see how he responds. He is currently on a 3-fight winning streak, with his most recent performance being an unanimous decision against Alexei Oleinik back in June of this year. Great fight. That was one of my favorite fights of the year. I know that sounds weird, but it was. I love Alexei Oleinik, his tactic, his style. You know what I mean? I love that dude. So, great fight there. Sergey has a fighting resume of 5 wins by knockout, 6 by submission, and 2 by decision. He has been solid in his ability to land stoppages, but also shows some balance to his resume. This fight's going to be amazing. Both fighters have excellent resumes in their career, and this fight is arguably closer than the odds are showing. Overall, Aspinall should be able to win the striking battle and get the job done. So I got Aspinall wins via TKO. All right, on to the main event of the evening: Derek Brunson versus Darren Till at the middleweight division. Derek Brunson. So people call him the gatekeeper of the middleweight division. Is that true? Is that what's going on here? I don't know what to say. It's kind of true. But Brunson is currently on a 4-fight winning streak heading into this matchup. His most recent battle was a unanimous decision against Kevin Holland back in March of this year. 12 wins by knockout, 3 by submission, and 7 by decision. He's been able to show some balance between striking and winning the long-distance battle. Brunson is an experienced veteran, but he seems reborn and finally living up to the promise that he showed earlier in his career. This is all down to mixing in his NCAA Division II caliber wrestling and not running into brawls chin first, which can be very bad for him. The old Brunson, I think, would get beat by Till, but I think he has a very good fighting chance here. Derek Brunson, 4-fight win streak. He used to be reckless slugger, like I said, with awful defense, but it served him well with the likes of Dan Kelly and Loyota Machidi, who's been sparked out in the first round. But I think he's more contained now. You know what I mean? I think he knows how to control his punches better. I think he knows he's an all-around smarter fighter. He's more worried about getting knocked out in a good way than a fighter that's not worried about getting knocked out. Because when you got a fighter that's not worried about getting knocked out, that's when things go south and they get knocked out because they think they're invincible, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is Derek Brunson 2.0, man, and Darren Till, he's going to have a good fight tonight with this. People hype up Darren Till, but Darren Till it feels like he's been fighting forever in the UFC, but he only has 6 fights with the UFC. Isn't that crazy? Darren Till, it's only 6 fights. Till's coming off a unanimous decision loss against Robert Whitaker back in July of last year. This loss snapped his previous momentum when he won against Kevin Gastelum in the previous battle. However, he's only won 1 fight out of the last 4 he is engaged in. His fighting resume shows he has 10 wins by knockout, 2 by submission, and 6 by decision. As you can see, he is similar record to Brunson, so you should see a lot of striking between these two. Till has lost the last 3 of his 4 fights, but he's only fought 3 times since 2018, suffering various injuries. Miserable form. You know what I mean? But he has fought top contender after top contender. He earned a unanimous decision over Stephen Thompson in 2018, which could have gone either way. He then suffered his first 2 losses, getting ravaged and submitted by prime Tyron Woodley for the welterweight strap, and then starched by Jorge Masvidal. He returned at middleweight to fight Kevin Gastelum and earned a hard-fought split decision, but was then handed one of the best middleweights of all time in Robert Whitaker, losing a unanimous decision in July of last year. Great fight. Can't knock either fighter. It was a wonderful fight. But, going into this fight, Brunson and Till, both fighters have a similar record. The fight could end early. However, the previous battles indicate this fight could go to the judges. We're not sure. Well, we'll see. But overall, Brunson looks more appealing in this fight and looks more like he can get the job done. So I think I am going to have to go with Brunson winning this fight. Now, TKO or submission, I don't think. I think it will go to decision all 5 rounds. I think it would be a heavy fight, a slugfest. I think the key factor here is Brunson. I think he needs to watch his chin. It's going to be a war, and if Darren Till lands one of those punches, Brunson's out. And if Brunson gets him to the ground, Darren Till's not getting up. So that's the way it goes. Darren Till needs to stop the takedown. And on Brunson's side, he needs to land those punches. So we'll see what happens here. But like I said, I got Brunson wins this via decision. Looking forward to this fight. Excited about this fight. Excited about this card. The main card starts here in a little under 2 hours, or the prelim card starts here in a little under 2 hours on ESPN Plus, and then the main event will start at 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus. But yeah, keep an eye out, guys. Man, 50 episodes of Pound for Pound. I just want to thank you guys again so much. Really means a lot to me. Everyone here at Unanimous, thank you guys for listening for this past a little bit over a year. I'm very grateful for everyone that takes even 5 minutes to listen to the podcast. You know what I mean? Thank you to everyone. And we're going for more, 50 more. We'll be at 100 here soon, and we're gonna keep it going, man. I appreciate everyone here, all my subscribers, everyone that listens to it on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, anywhere everyone's checking out, YouTube. It really means a lot, guys. So everyone enjoy the fights tonight, or today, as I'll say. And this is Pound for Pound MMA podcast, and I'm your host, Jalen Walker. See you guys.